Other components of the contest were equally determined: rigid design requirements, capped budgets, and a tight window for execution once applications were approved. Jane asked if, instead of competing against each other, I was interested in pooling resources and collaborating on a joint submission for VIP. A flurry of emails, an invitation to brainstorm concepts before giving an answer, and a gigantic delivery of fresh daisies to thank me and proclaim there was no way we wouldn't win, and I said yes. It didn't hurt that I was looking for ways to avoid the mess that was my personal life. Jane and I shared a common design philosophy, an attraction to the mid-century modern aesthetic, and a proximity to the same milestone birthday, 50, though to be fair, the 2 years between our birthdays ensured I reached it first. Things like that can lull you into a false sense of compatibility, especially amongst potential friends, where the messiness of romance wasn't part of the equation. For an independent woman like me, the novelty of having a new friend who shared my passions was a high. We traded lipstick recommendations, watched TCM movie marathons on Friday nights, swapped out vintage clothing we'd accumulated, and alternated driving the truck we took to the local flea markets to shop for inventory. Still, after giving up nights, weekends, and paying jobs to collaborate with Jane on our VIP entry, today's email hit a nerve. I jumped through hoops for her, and this was the way she thanked me. By attacking my character in an unemotional message she'd needed days to write after collecting her thoughts. I steeled myself with a deep breath and called her office. "Posh Pit, Vonda speaking," her assistant answered. "Vonda, this is Madison Night. Is Jane available? I need to speak to her. It's urgent." "Madison, tell me Jane didn't send the email." "Of course she sent the email. Why else would you be calling me? I am so sorry. You have no idea. She's crazy. The woman is totally off her nut." "This really is between Jane and me. I can't let you talk to her." "This will only take a moment." Vonda Quinn was Jane's assistant, but from what I'd seen, her job involved little more than answering phones, data entry, and unsolicited attitude. Her sigh was clear, despite the crackling of the 40-year-old mechanisms inside my 1970s yellow donut phone. "She's not here. She went to the DD offices to turn in her submission for the competition before the cutoff for entries tonight." I felt the heat rise over the back of my neck, not an entirely unwanted sensation, considering the back door to my studio was propped open and the cold air from outside had entered. Jane can't submit that application. The designs are mine. The concept is mine. The building belongs to her, but there's more to that submission than the property. "Don't shoot the messenger," Vonda said. I wedged the phone between my ear and my shoulder and grabbed an empty file folder. I was so distracted I almost forgot it was my turn to talk. "I'm going to the DD offices right now. If you have any way to get in touch with her, you might want to give her a heads up that I'm on my way. I'm not in a particularly good mood after her email, either." "That's between you and Jane." I chose not to mention that I'd already made that point. I straightened my neck, and the receiver dropped onto my desk. I didn't waste time on a goodbye. Vonda might not have written or sent the email, but she'd known about it, and that was bad enough. As I grabbed a stack of pages off the printer and wedged them into the folder, I wondered how many other people Jane had spoken to about her less than flattering views of me. I found Effie Jones, a recent college graduate and my first ever full-time employee, in the small storage unit I kept behind the studio. What Effie lacked in knowledge about design, she made up for in organizational suggestions and millennial perspective. It didn't hurt that I'd gifted her with 10 Doris Day movies to help her refine her eye. That's how I first learned about mid-century design, and it seemed as convenient a training method.